Madam Chair, we are now live.
Great, thank you. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Town of Ajax Committee of Adjustment meeting for Wednesday, September 30th, 2020. This meeting of the Committee of Adjustment is being held electronically and live streamed on the internet. Due to the COVID-19 emergency and the requirements for physical distancing, no in-person attendance is permitted at this meeting. All regular practices and procedures for the committee continue to apply during this electronic meeting. If we encounter any technical difficulties, we may take a brief recess while they are resolved. Thank you for your patience, and we will now proceed with the meeting. So at this time, before moving on, I would like to confirm whether there are any disclosures of interest from any of the members of the committee.
No.
There's none. I don't see the committee members on my screen.
I can hear the voices, so I think we're okay. I've heard Mark, I'm pretty sure I heard Wasif and yourself, Cecil.
Okay.
Okay,
I can't see all the members on the screen as normal.
good. Okay, the next item on our agenda is the adoption of the August 26, 2020 Committee of Adjustment meeting minutes. Can I please have adoption for that?
So
Thank you very much, Mark. And can we have a seconder for that?
A second.
Thank you very much, Cecil. Thank you. Okay, so the minutes for the August 26th meeting has been approved. The next item on the,
All in favor?
You need to go for a vote.
oh, I apologize. Sorry, everybody. Sorry, can I please have a vote for those minutes? I apologize.
Aye.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. Now I can see everybody on the same page as well. Thank you for that. Okay, the minutes have been approved and adopted. Thank you so much. Okay, now I'm going to do the outline of the general mandate. The committee is bound by the Planning Act to assess each application based upon its ability to meet 4 tests. That the application is minor in nature, is desirable for the appropriate development or use of the lands, and finally is in keeping with the general intent and purpose of the official plan and zoning bylaw. The process for tonight's meeting will be conducted in the following manner. Applicant and/or agent will be called upon, and at their option, they may provide a brief description of the minor variance application they have applied for. The committee members may ask questions of the applicant and/or agent, after which anyone with a direct interest in the application will be given the opportunity to speak either for or against the application. If there are multiple persons in attendance for an application, I will determine those that are in support of the application and those that are opposed of the application and deal with those who are in opposition of the application first. Once a motion is put forward by a committee member, there will be no further input from the applicant or anyone having interest in the application. After a decision is made, notice will be sent out and there will be a 20-day appeal period. Anyone having interest in the application may appeal to the local planning appeals tribunal within 20 days of the decision of the committee. After 20 days, the decision will become final and binding. If a building permit or other approvals are required, they may be filed during the appeal period. However, no building permits will be issued until the appeal period is over and the decision becomes final and binding. A respectful decorum during this evening's procedures is expected of all present at all times. I now would like to introduce to you our committee members. Myself, I am Lori Roberts, Wasif Ahmed, Cecil Ramnaha, and Mark Paul Lalick. Thank you very much. And our staff member that we have for tonight is Caitlin Group, and she is the Secretary Treasurer and Senior Planner for the Town of Ajax. And I apologize now for any names that I messed up. The first application for tonight's meeting is A18-20 for 40 Exeter Road, submitted by Cecilia Mendoza. The applications, the application is to permit a maximum lot coverage of 13.8% for all accessory buildings and structures on a lot, to permit a maximum gross floor area of 96.7 meters squared for all accessory buildings and structures on a lot, and to permit a maximum overall lot coverage of 35.1%. Is the applicant here? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay. Caitlin, can I confirm that notice was served?
Yes, notice was served, and we did receive one email response in favor of the application, which was provided to the committee for their review.
Okay. And the application has come with 4 conditions for the applications, and they are that the subject variance apply only to the property municipally known as 40 Exeter Road, and as shown in figure 2 and 3 herein, or this decision shall become null and void. The second condition is that the owner applicant maintain the historical drainage on the property, or this decision shall become null and void. The third condition is that the downspouts be required to discharge to the rear or south side of the structure, no discharge to the driveway, to the satisfaction of the town's engineering services section, or this decision shall become null and void. And the fourth and final condition is that the owner applicant obtain all necessary building permits from its town building services section, or this decision shall become null and void. Okay, so as the applicant, do you have any comments that you would like to make in regards to your application?
none so far.
I apologize. Sorry, did you say you didn't have anything?
Yeah, none so far for now.
Okay,
Nothing.
okay, thank you. To the committee members, are there any questions to either the applicants or staff? Okay, seeing none, sorry.
Got a question.
Yep.
There's a question to the applicant. The town is recommending approval of this minor variance application, subject to conditions from engineering as it relates to downspouts not being on the driveway. And to the applicant, have you read the 4 conditions as recommended by staff? And do you have any issues with any one of them?
There's not any issue that the downspout.
No, sir, no issue because all the downspout is going on the south and the backyard.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from any of the committee members for the applicant or staff? Okay, seeing none, is anybody wanting to make? Sorry, I apologize. Sorry, it just made a really weird noise on me there. Is anybody wanting to approve or not approve this application? Thanks very much, Mark.
Through the chair, I make a motion to approve this application on 40 Exeter Road, subject to the conditions set forth by staff, as the application is minor in nature and meets the test set forth for us.
Thank you. Is there a seconder? Thank you very much. Wasav, can we have a vote for that, please? Okay, so we have all voted in favor of your application. So it will now go to the tribunal, as I mentioned in my comments, for the 20 days. You have to take care of those 4 conditions, okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Steve.
Okay. So now the next application that we are gonna work on is application A 20-20 for 1 Bramwell Drive for Maria Laird. Maria, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I'm just gonna open that one on here. Okay, and Caitlin, can I confirm that notice was served, and did you have any responses?
Yes, notice was served, and we did receive one piece of written correspondence, which was opposed to the application, and it was provided to the committee for review.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so to the applicant, the staff prepared a report and they had 5 conditions on it for your application. And the first application is that the subject variance apply only to the property municipally known as 1 Bramwell Drive as shown on the site plan and elevations submitted with this application and found as figure 2 and figure 3 herein, or this decision shall become null and void. The second condition is that the owner applicant provide tree protection hoarding to the satisfaction of the town's landscape architect to protect the existing tree cedars along the south side of the subject lands, or this decision shall become null and void. The third condition is that the owner applicant complete the necessary measures to bring the existing driveway into compliance with the zoning bylaw, or this decision shall become null and void. The fourth condition is that the owner applicant maintain the historical drainage on the property, or this decision shall become null and void. And finally, the fifth condition is that the owner applicant obtain all necessary building permits for the town's building service from the town's building services section, or this decision shall become null and void. Okay, so the applicant, Maria, did you have anything that you would like to provide the committee?
No, I don't have any comment.
Okay, thank you. And to the committee, do you have any questions for the applicants or staff? Okay, Wasif.
Through Madam Chair to staff, I noticed that for condition number 3, it talks about bringing the existing driveway into compliance. With the rest of the staff report, I don't think I saw anything in there in terms of what that means. Could you maybe shed a little bit of light on that? And if I missed it in the staff report, I apologize, but if you just tell a little bit more about that to the committee in terms of what's required.
Sure, through the chair. That condition was added because the existing conditions of the driveway are not in compliance with the zoning bylaw. This was brought to staff's attention through the review of the variance application, which was not in relation to the driveway. However, through the review of the property, it was discussed with the applicant that their driveway did not comply, and they agreed that they would take the necessary measures to rectify that. It's not a subject of the variance, though. The variance is only applicable to the rear yard setback. So the condition has just been added to ensure that the applicant does complete those works in order to allow the approval of the variance to become final.
Okay, and just to be super clear, and you're saying that the applicant is not seeking relief or a minor variance on the driveway?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you, Caitlin.
Sorry, Mark. Go ahead, Mark.
Question through the chair to staff.
Sorry.
The public comment that we received was in relation to, could be inferred as an issue with the height of the property blocking the view. So could staff confirm that the height of the subject property is within the bylaw?
Sure, through the chair. The proposed addition to the existing dwelling is a 1-story addition, and the maximum height proposed is 5 meters. and that is in compliance with the zoning bylaw, which does permit a maximum of 11 meters in height. So it is below the maximum.
Great, thank you. And through the chair, if you don't mind, one more question for staff. So the public comment also referred to bylaw concerns other than the driveway bylaw matter that was discussed previously. Is staff aware of any other bylaw concerns that would fall within the scope of this committee that we should discuss, or if they're not related to the scope of this committee, then that's all we need to know as well.
Sure. The neighbor did not clarify what their concerns were. As Wasif noted, the driveway compliance has been captured through the condition, and the applicant has actually already made arrangements to complete those works, and it's just being verified with bylaw services. And then the only other non-compliance that the town was aware of through the preliminary review of the application was a camper trailer that was parked on the property. The applicant has since provided an email confirmation and a photograph stating that they have removed the camper from their property and it's being stored off-site. Camper vehicles are not permitted to be stored on private property unless they are located fully within a garage.
Okay, thank you for that.
Thank you. Any other comments for the applicant or for staff?
Through the chair, I have a question for staff.
Okay, Cecil.
Yeah, the town is saying that the applicant is encouraged to replant one tree that was removed. Is the town expecting the applicant to replant the same type of tree or a tree of their choosing?
Typically, it can be the property owner's choosing because the town doesn't have a private property tree bylaw. The applicant can certainly speak with the town's landscape architect to determine what may be a suitable species for that tree. But again, because there is no private property tree bylaw, the town can only recommend that it is replanted, not enforce it.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Thank you, Cecil. Any other questions for the applicant or for staff? Okay, seeing that, would anyone like to make a motion in regards to this application? Okay, Wasif.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to propose a motion to approve the application A2020 for 1 Bramwood Drive, based on the fact that it is minor, seems to be minor in nature, meets the 4 tests, and subject to the 5 conditions as outlined in the staff report.
Thank you. Do we have a seconder? Okay, Mark. And can we have a vote, please? Okay, so your application has been carried. It is now, will now go to the Local Planning Appeals Tribunal for the 20 days. And to just remember that you are obligated to take care of those 5 conditions with that application as well.
Great, thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you very much. Okay, so now we are on to application A22-20 for 3 George Street by Kyle MacArthur and Ashley Vincelette, and I apologize, Ashley, if I said your name incorrectly. It is to permit a minimum setback from the exterior side lot line of 2.9 meters for an accessory building or structure, and to permit a maximum driveway width of 9.9 meters. Just bear with me while I just pull this one up. Okay, so the staff has given us a report for your application, and they have requested that there are 5 conditions with your application. The first condition is that the subject variances apply only to the property municipally known as George Street, and as generally illustrated in figures 2 and 3 of this report or this decision shall become null and void. The second condition is that the proposed accessory building is to be used in accordance with section 4.1.12 or zoning bylaw 95-2003 as amended. The third condition is that no portion of the driveway widening is to occur within the municipal right-of-way / boulevard, or this decision shall become null and void. That the fourth condition is that the owner applicant obtain all necessary building permits for the proposed accessory building from the town's building services section, or this decision shall become null and void. And finally, the fifth condition is that the owner applicant maintain the historical drainage on the property, or this decision shall become null and void. And are the applicants present?
Yes, we're both here.
Great. And Caitlin, can I confirm that notice was served, and did we receive any responses?
Yep, notice was served and no written responses were received.
Perfect. Okay, and to the committee, do you have any questions for the applicant or staff? Okay, I've lost Mark, so bear with me. I gotta. Okay. Okay, so I am seeing no questions. Please yell out if I am incorrect. If that is the case, would anyone like to make a motion in regards to this application? Okay, Wasif.
I'm actually going to backtrack, Madam Chair. Sorry, I did have one question, if I may.
Absolutely, go ahead.
Question for staff, just in terms of the in the graphic figure 2, the concept plan, it does outline that there are some overhead hydro and telephone wires. Can we confirm that the proposed garage does not interfere with any of those whatsoever? There's no concern?
Sure, through the chair. A lexicon did comment on the application. I believe the comments are included further down in the report, and I apologize, my VPN at home I have disconnected, so I don't have the report in front of me. But
would you like me to read what it says?
Sure.
So from Lexicon Energy, it says the owner / applicant shall notify a lexicon if the proposal will result with works occurring closer than 3.0 meters away from the existing overhead hydro lines. If such setback cannot be maintained, then a lines person will be required to supervise the proposed works. Oh, there it is.
Thanks, Lori. Yes, so Wasif, Eric did circulate the application to a lexicon, and those were the comments that they had provided. I don't believe any hydro lines are in direct conflict with the proposed garage structure, but again, that is the owner's responsibility to reach out to a lexicon and confirm that with them.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Caitlin. A question, Madam Chair, through you to the applicant, if I may.
Yeah.
So to the applicant, just follow up to that. Are you familiar with the clause that was just read out by Madam Chair, and are you in alignment with that?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, everything's good.
Any further questions from the committee for the applicant or staff? No. Okay, seeing none, would anyone from the committee like to make a motion for this application? Okay, Mark,
Yes, Madam Chair. Through you, I'd like to make a motion for application 2220 that the committee approve the application subject to the conditions set forth by staff, as the application is minor in nature and meets the test set forth to the committee.
thank you very much. And do we have a seconder? Okay, thank you, Cecil. And can we please take a vote? Okay, great. So we are all in favor of this. So your application has been approved and it will be going to the local planning appeals tribunal for the next 20 days. And just a reminder that you are obligated for those 5 conditions.
Great. Thank you for your help.
You're
Lori.
very welcome. Sorry, yes.
Just to add, when the application is approved, it doesn't go to the appeals tribunal unless someone appeals it. It's
Sorry.
just subject to the 20 days, still at town of Ajax level. Just to
I
clarify.
apologize. Sorry, that's my mistake. Sorry about that. Okay, so now we will move on to the final application, which is application 23-20 for 11 Peacock Crescent from Mina Vasanav. So apologize if I pronounced your name incorrectly. And your application is to permit an addition, which is a sunroom to the rear of the main building, to have a minimum setback of 5.0 meters from the rear lot line. And can the applicant hear us? Are you here?
Yes, I can hear. Yeah.
Oh, okay, thank you very much. Okay, so staff has provided a report for your application, and they have said that there are 3 conditions in order for it to be approved. And those 3 conditions are that the subject variance apply only to the property municipally known as 11 Peacock Crescent, and as shown in figures 2 and 3 herein, or this decision shall become null and void. The second condition is that the owner applicant maintain the historical drainage on the property, or this decision shall become null and void. And the third condition is that the owner applicant obtain all necessary building permits from the town's building services section, or this decision shall become null and void. To the committee, do you have any questions for the applicant or staff? Cecil?
Yeah, I do have a question for the applicant. There were 3 conditions that the town has outlined to be satisfied for this variance. I was wondering whether the applicant, upon reading those conditions, have any issues with any one of them.
This is Meena, and actually I'm good with all these 3 conditions, and I'm aware of that one. I should be fine with that.
Thank you very much.
Great.
Madam Chair, can I
Yes.
just add for the notice, notice was served for this application.
Oh, I'm so
That's
sorry.
okay.
Yes, notice was served, and any responses?
Notice was served. Staff did receive 1 voicemail, and it was from a neighbor in favor of the application.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, sorry. Any further questions for the applicant or staff? Wasif?
Through the chair to staff, in figure 2, the rear lot line seems to be about 5.2 meters from the distance being from the proposed sunroom, or the rear of the proposed sunroom to the rear lot line. But the application is seeking 5.0. I'm assuming the other 0.2 is just a buffer.
Through the chair, yes, that's correct.
Okay, perfect. And then my other question, if I may, Madam Chair, one more.
Yep.
And just to be super clear, there are no interior side lot line concerns, correct?
That's correct. The proposed sunroom greatly exceeds the minimums for the side yards.
Okay, amazing. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions from the committee for staff or the applicant? I had just one point of clarification, Caitlin. You did say that you received a voicemail and it was in favor of the application?
Through the chair, yes, that's correct. It was a neighbor, I believe it was 2 streets over on Haskell Avenue. Carolyn did receive a voicemail and she indicated that the neighbor had no concerns with the approval of the application.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, so just if there's no further questions for either the applicant or staff, would one of the committee members like to make a motion for this application? Cecil.
Through the chair, I move to approve minor variance application 2320 submitted to permit a new sunroom extension of the main building at the back of the property, subject to the 3 conditions as required by staff, as it is minor in nature. It is desirable for the appropriate development and use of the land, and it's in keeping with the general intent and purpose of the official plan and zoning bylaws. Madam Chair, I move to approve.
Thank you very much. Okay, do we have a seconder for that? Thank you, Wasif. And can we have a vote, please? Okay, I can't see Mark, but I'm going to assume, thank you, Mark. Okay, so we are all in favor for that application to the applicant. It has been approved. It will, now I'm like gonna fumble up on what I'm gonna say here. It is, your application has been approved and it has 20 days before it can be appealed. And if you have to do any permits or anything, you can do it. You can apply for them during this period of time. Thank you very much. And I apologize for the confusion there.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay, so that is the end of our applications. The next item on our agenda is any other or new business. I'm going to assume there is none because I'm not hearing anything. So can I please have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Madam Chair, I move to adjourn.
Thank you very much. May I have a seconder? Thank you very much. And all those in favor? Thank you very much. Okay, so that concludes this meeting of the Committee of Adjustment for Wednesday, September 30th. Thank you very much for your patience and have a good evening.